I treated my business like a side chick. There's this narrative online that you have to be all in. You either have to be all into your 9 to 5 or all into your business. It can't be either or. And if you're not working on leaving your 9 to 5, then you're not serious. And if you stay at your 9 to 5, then you're playing small. And having a side business is just a stepping stone to real entrepreneurship. False. False, false, and false. But here's the truth. I was good with being an employeepreneur. Absolutely perfectly fine. I value the benefits, the steady paycheck, being able to have PTO, calling off work and still getting paid. Being an employeepreneur allowed me to have mental capacity, because I wasn't worried about my finances, to just literally be in alignment and be true and authentic in my business. I was intentionally choosing both. Did I feel shame over the years? Yes. Did I shrink sometimes to the looks I would get? Yes. However, both worlds gave me something I truly value. Being in both worlds also gave me the safety net I needed that allowed me the freedom to be like, screw y'all. When I think about what I really wanted, my definition of happiness boiled down to my 3 F's. Finances, fulfillment, and freedom. I always ask the question, do you want freedom or do you want flexibility? Most people answer flexibility. And then I start giving them examples. Flexibility is teleworking. You don't always have to come into the office, but you still gotta work. Freedom is you can literally work when you want to, where you want to, how you want to, as long as the work gets done. And when I continue asking these questions, 9 times out of 10, people come on over to the freedom side. That was the important pieces for me. And when I really sat down and thought about it, my 9 to 5 only gave me 2. And when I got furloughed, not once, but twice, I only had 1, and barely that. Fulfillment had already left the building a long time ago. If you ever hear me tell my story, I probably should have never been at that job past day 2, because they literally gave my job to somebody else. However, I digress. That's a story for another day. Even though the misalignment was there from the jump, I kept showing up. It was supposed to be my dream job, and I felt like I needed the job. I didn't realize they needed me too. I felt like I was a slave to the paycheck. So when I got furloughed, my financial security gone, especially to me. Some people were like, but we went back to work and we got back pay. No, that's what really cracked the surface for me. And I realized, oh, this can be taken away at any given moment. And if you really read the fine print, you don't have to get back pay, even though traditionally you do. And my freedom was gone just like that. Most people are like, oh, but you got to be home. You got to do what you wanted to do, da da da. But what you don't realize is that my freedom to travel, my freedom to just go shopping, my freedom to eat out for lunch every day, like that freedom was gone. You know why? Because now I had to be even more strategic and cautious, because again, I didn't know when we were going back to work and if we would get paid. And during this time, that's when it really hit me that I truly have been treating my business like a side chick and treating my 9 to 5 like the main chick, and really investing in the main chick and not the one I really like. Spending time when I really wanted to be committed to her, and I showed up for my main chick more than I even showed up for myself. Because I remember there was one time I was on vacation and they were calling me and had me working. Illegal? Yes. There was a lot of illegal stuff going on there. Conversation for another day. But I showed up for the main chick more than I even showed up for myself. And I wanted to be committed to my side chick, but I was afraid. I was afraid that the side chick couldn't take care of me like the main chick supposedly did. My main chick, the 9 to 5, I gave all my power and control to. It was like, whatever you like. And when the furlough happened, I realized that it was just perceived security, but they had the right to take away my happiness, fulfillment, freedom, and financial security, because I didn't have a plan B once the savings ran out, or a plan B once whatever my next plan of action would be if we stayed furloughed longer than my savings could withstand. The furloughed highlighted that I needed to control my own destiny. And honestly, for those of you who know, that's when I became a nail tech. Because I was like, what do I love to do? Because at that time, I was still trying to figure out which passion was my purpose before I realized that is not how it works. We'll talk about that later. But I needed to take back my control. So to me, CEO stands for clarity, execution, and ownership. I had clarity on my job. I could do it in my sleep. I knew how to execute it with no problems. I had absolutely no ownership of absolutely nothing. Not my time, not the things that I created, nothing. Because of that, something had to give. So for me, up until that point, being an employeepreneur was perfectly fine and still could have been fine, but just not at that place, not at that job. Employeepreneur might be the right choice for you. You don't have to leave. You can do both. You can have, in the words of my friend Brie Carroll, more ands and less ors. The key is knowing why you're staying at your 9 to 5. Is it strategic or is it fear? Do you feel like you're a slave to the job? Do you feel like there's no security in entrepreneurship? Do you feel like you can't withstand the shame of the disrespect or the lack of respect for your little business? So if you're building a business on the side and people keep asking you, when are you going to take the big leap? When are you leaving? Give yourself permission to tell them maybe never. Maybe I like both. Or you just be honest. I love my job. I love the security of my job, but I love the fulfillment I get from my business. I love that I'm able to build a legacy that can hold me during retirement. Tell them the truth. You don't owe anybody this dramatic exit story. Now mine has some drama to it. But you don't have to have that. You can be a multi-passionate, multi-entity, multi-income stream, ecosystem, enterprise, mind, individual, and still want to stay at your 9 to 5. And that is more than okay. But ask yourself, of the 3 F's, which are you really getting? Is it fulfillment? Is it freedom, not flexibility? And do you have true financial security? If your job provides you all 3, stay. By all means, stay. Build. Enjoy both worlds. You truly can be successful in both worlds at the same time with ease, efficiently, and in excellence. My 3 E's. You see, I like 3's. But if 2 or 3 of those F's are missing, this is not your time to panic. This is your time to be strategic and take your power back. The question isn't, should I quit? It's, are all 3 F's serving me? Is this place still in alignment with where I'm trying to go and who I'm trying to be? Because here's the thing, remember, being CEO is not just being the head of a company and having a position in the C-suite. Again, it stands for clarity, execution, and ownership. Whether you're the CEO of your life, your career, your business, if you're not clear about why you're there, where you're going, your execution will just be spinning in circles. And not the merry-go-round where the scenery changes, but literally a hamster wheel, going fast nowhere. While your power sits in the hands of someone who benefits from your fear and your confusion, where you literally chain yourself to a desk to build someone else's dream and legacy for them and their family. This is what I learned from furlough. I had to learn the hard way. I don't want that for you. Do an inventory, do an audit, and see, does your job, your 9 to 5, still provide you fulfillment, freedom, and or financial security? Because one of the things that I've learned is that as high achievers, we set our eyes on the goal. And even if it starts to move, we stay the path. We stay the journey. We don't pause to say, does this still serve me? Do I need to switch up my strategy? Do I need to implement new systems? Have I even outgrown this? Is that the goal that I still want? Am I chasing VP just because it sounds good? Or does it still fit my life? So ask yourself these questions. And again, if you have at minimum 2, I prefer you have 3, stay. Rock it out in both worlds. You can do it. You can do it. Anywho, that's it. That's all. I'm just here to let you know, being an employeepreneur ain't that bad. Give yourself permission to tell those people when they ask when you leaving or when you taking a leave, maybe never. That's it. That's all. Talk to you soon.